We are talking Donald Trump today. Yes, Donald Trump. He's a Polaroiding. Is it Polaroiding? Anyway, he divides opinion, let's say. The book is called Think Big and Kick Ass in Business and Life by Donald Trump and Bill Zanker. I believe Bill Zanker's got a company about education, and that's how them two met. He paid Donald Trump £1 million to come and speak, and then become friends. And do you know what? Before this book, I actually respected Donald Trump, believe it or not. What he did in business, I respect. Do you know what? I don't know if I agree or disagree with his political views or what. I don't really have an opinion, but I respect the fact that he's got the voice and he's willing to stand up and take on the media for what he believes in. Whether he's right or wrong, who knows? I haven't got a clue. I have no idea. But after reading this book, something stuck with me for years and years and years. And that was Richard Branson. He said he met Donald Trump once, and they was having a meal together. And all Donald Trump did was talk vindictively about the people he wanted to get back on, and he wanted to get even on. He's got this little book that people that have wronged him, and he's going to wrong them back. And Richard Branson basically said, I can't live like that. I can't. The negativity was massive. And I thought, well, is that true? Is it exaggerated? No, it's true. He actually put it in the book. He said, get people back 10 times harder than they got you. He said, you've got to take them to task. You've got to make sure you get even. And I'm like, nah, I'm not about that, me. I'm not really about that. If someone does me wrong, maybe it's me being a wimp. I don't know, but I'm not quite like that. There's some of the book that I really admire and respect, like Think Big, and you've got to hand it to Donald Trump. You know, he's definitely fought big, because you can't get any bigger than being the president of the United States. I mean, that is crazy. And so the power of thinking big and massive is there for all to see. We should all do it. We should all believe that we're capable of more than we really are doing right now. More than your wildest dreams, you are capable of them. So I respect and support that. And I go along with it. I do it myself. However, there's a lot in the book that it just seems to be a narcissist. He just, I don't think he come across really well in this book. And do you know what? I always say that you can learn from people even if you don't like them. And there's parts of Donald Trump I do like. And then there's this book, I just don't think he's painted himself in a good light at all. There's ego there. There's massive ego. And yeah, I learned a lot from the book and Thinking Big, and you know what you're capable of and how you treat people, because he's talking about how you treat his staff, and you know you've got to make sure you support them. And I love all that. I love that. But there's just elements of the book that really grated on me towards the end of the book. It was getting more and more and more. And I think it summarized that you either think like him or you're wrong. You're wrong. He dismisses you. I can't remember the terminology he uses, but it's derogatory. This one time, this athlete was talking to him, and he rang him up, and the coach, his agent stole all his money basically from this athlete in the NFL. And this guy says, Donald Trump says, "Look, we'll get him back. We're going to do this. We're going to destroy his life. You know, we can absolutely destroy him, taking testing." And the guy goes, "Nah, I'm not really in for that. Yeah, he's done me wrong, but I'm not in for that." And Donald Trump says, tried to persuade him to get him back and really destroy his life. And this guy's like, "Nah, I'm not bothered. I'm all right. You know, it is what it is." And Donald Trump put the phone down and he said, "The guy's tried to call me loads of times since. I won't take his call because he's a loser. He's a loser." I'm like, It's just because you've got to respect somebody else's different point of view. I respect Donald Trump's point of view. I don't necessarily agree with it all, but I respect him. I respect his point of view, but I don't think he lends that same courtesy to other people. I think some of the things that he did when he was president, I think that when you actually look at it, it's not too bad. You know, he did pretty well as a president of the United States in certain quarters, in certain things. It wasn't a disaster that the mainstream media portray it as. And by the way, if anything's in the mainstream media, then I just think we've got to check our facts, because there's propaganda. It's we all say there's propaganda in Russia and stuff like that, and different countries, and China and North Korea. But why is the media and the government, why is the propaganda in them countries but not in our own country. Why don't we think it's possible? Of course there is. So always fact check what the media say. And I don't think the media have reported correctly on Donald Trump's time in office. Again, like I said, I'm not political or anything like that, but I just believe that, he's sometimes he's not given a fair crack at the whip, and people are quick to judge. But then I read this book and I'm like, oh, I'm judging him myself. He doesn't do himself any favors sometimes. So in short, if take away that part of the book, I do think you can read this book and you can learn something from it, especially the power of thinking big. It's phenomenal. If you think big, I mean, his results, you can't get away from what he's achieved in his life. Being the president of the United States of America, that is incredible. So yeah, interesting book, thought-provoking book. I took some things out of it, but then also he annoyed me. All right, guys and girls, that is it. Speak to you tomorrow. Bye.